What's going on, everyone? We are very well into 4th of July. We are putting away our America flags, or no?
I never had that.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Inner Circle Podcast. I am Charlie Bitch, and this is my best girlfriend, co-host Melody Bitch. How is everyone? How are you? We are coming off from 4th of July weekend. How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain.
Can't complain.
I can't even complain about the heat, actually, because I haven't really been outside to deal with it long enough. Like I'm in a car, out, inside, back outside, heading up back home. So
So
how
you
was
haven't really been just experiencing the heat of it all. The last 2 days has been hot. Today, funny enough, today I had like a lot of running around to do. And
yeah.
you feel very good with planning on like, okay, I'll do this, I'll hit this, I'll go this way. But like the places I have to go are very like away from each other and walking from trains and stuff. And today, actually, it actually hit me the beauty of not really depending on a car in New York, because today it hit me where it's like, yo, I was worried about having to be here, there, and everywhere. But I found today, even though it's all hot outside, I found a beauty of discovering walking around like different neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like
Different neighborhoods in Brooklyn.
Yeah, you could live in New York and realize that there's just so much you haven't seen. And sometimes, like, you get off to certain neighborhoods and you're like, oh, I haven't been around here. You just walk around and just like see. And like, New York is big. This is what people don't realize. New York is so big and so vast and just so much to see. And when you're someone like me, you like could appreciate the beauty of the way this church looks over here, or this.
You know what's
these
funny? There are sometimes when I have to be running around in my job, I notice that like there are neighborhoods that we would frequent back in the day that we don't frequent as much anymore.
Name
them. I mean,
Chelsea,
Hell's Kitchen,
the Village.
The Village. I feel like the Village is too young for me now, but we would go and like, hang out there. And now when I do like go and like walk around, it's not the same. It's not the same vibe, but it's also not the same establishment. So it's kind of sad. It feels like everything is new but old at the same time. But yeah, Chelsea is very different. I'm always in Chelsea, so.
Well, we also we kind of
we were just there though.
Yeah, we were. But besides the heat and all that good stuff, how was your 4th of July weekend?
My weekend was good. I actually had a long weekend, and actually, I was supposed to, travel, but instead I decided to hang back, and I'm glad I did. But I didn't really do much 4th of July. I didn't really care to celebrate America given the circumstances.
Right?
Like no. But I did spend it with my uncle, and like we did go to the park, and it was really cool to see the fireworks, even though they kept going off till like 4 a.m. every fucking day. And then and then the rest of the week was really good. Yeah. What about you?
So even at that, you're cutting off your weekend like that. With me, for the people,
I had a great time.
For the people who don't know, with me, I went to Nashville, Tennessee. I wanted to get funny. I've been wanting to go to Nashville for years, since 2016. Had Nashville on my radar, but other travels come up, other things come up, and so much traveling, so little time to fit in there. But I finally made it happen this 4th of July weekend, and Nashville is known for. Funny enough, a lot of people think LA, New York, but Nashville is one of the top biggest capital music of the United States. A lot of people go there for their dreams, the Taylor Swifts and all that stuff. So, you know,
Really?
huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Nashville is a big. A lot of people go there for record deals, move over there. Yeah, it's a big music capital. It's up there. It's like top three: LA, New York, Nashville.
Mm.
Yep, yep. So I went over there, got to experience that for the weekend. It was pretty cool because going into it with everything going on in our country, um, including yourself, there's some people that are like, oh my God, you're going there right now? Are you nuts?
Yeah.
And I'm never scared to travel different places. I'm not like I don't like to live my life in fear. Now, was I a little has my anxiety been a little up lately traveling in planes with things that have gone on? Yes, I'm not gonna lie. But for the most part, I don't like living in fear. I don't like living my life like that. But I got over it. I went with my boy Gizmo, my main man, and he enjoyed it because Gizmo don't like some places.
Gizmo got more passport stamps than I do, and he's a freaking dog. Like, that's crazy.
So many people say that, but it was a good time. I love the food. It reminds me of a little Vegas slash a little New Orleans style.
Wow.
Southern, yeah, pretty cool. I would definitely go again. With my brothers, I told my brothers, and they're interested in going. So we'll see if we'll make it happen. If we do, we'll be back in Nashville at the end of the year. But while we was in, celebrating our July weekend, Bad Bunny being in the clever Pisces he is, the intentional Pisces he is, on 4 de Julio, 4th of July, he dropped the long anticipated video for his latest single Nueva York from his latest album Debí Tirar Más Fotos. Now we've been waiting for this one because there's even been talk of people say, "Oh, is it gonna come out? Is it not?" I thought it was gonna come out in May.
I knew it was going to come out 4th of July.
Then I know. Well, you was a little skeptical. You were like, "Did he even film the video?" Remember?
No, I knew he filmed the video because Lisa told us,
Well, we
shout out
knew.
Lisa,
Yeah, we seen it.
that he was in Bronx Community College. But I said it was going to come out 4th of July.
Well, I thought maybe on the Puerto Rican day, the Puerto Rican weekend, Puerto
Yeah.
Rican weekend. That's what we should
Puerto
call
Rican
it.
Day Parade.
But well, it was the weekend. Like the whole
Yeah.
weekend was like a celebration. But the Puerto Rican Day Parade Sunday. But I call it the weekend because the whole weekend was crazy. But I thought then. But then I figured I'm like, okay, it has to be 4th of July because he can't release the video in August. At that point, the summer's almost done.
Yeah.
¿Sabes? Si te quieres divertir un verano en Nueva York, I'm like, there can't be no way he releases this later. But then I kept getting tired of guessing wrong or when he was going to release it. I'm like, it has to be 4th of July. And then he finally did. I'm like, yes. I text you guys so quick because I was at the airport waiting for my flight. So I seen it as soon as it dropped. But what did you think? I know you have a lot to say, so take it away.
So for me, it was very nostalgic because one thing about Bad Bunny that he does, and I love this about him, is that he doesn't just think of the culture, the Puerto Rican culture. He thinks of like Latino culture overall. And for him to, one, have a director, Renel Medrano, which is a Dominican from the Bronx who went to Parsons School of Design, and she's perfect. She's great at her job. She's like a creative director, and she got into photography. But for her to be the director of this video and capture the essence of like not quintessential 1980s, 1990s New York City and the Latin culture around it, because obviously there was an influx of Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, hell, Mexicans, you name it, Cubans also. And the way that they all got the fashion, the style of dance, the aesthetic, like even the cakes, using like I think it's called Valencia. I forgot the name of the bakery, but it went so well with the song, and it reminded me of like all the collages and like photo albums that my parents and my uncle have of like us growing up or them dancing and partying, having their parties in those years. It looked literally like it came out of that video. Um, And another thing, I felt like a lot of people always have this connotation of like Benito doing music like the perreo and the dembow and the music like that. They expect him to have like people dancing and gyrating and grinding and stuff. His shit always has meaning to it.
Mhm.
So when he had that clip of Donald Trump on there saying what he said and the hypocrisy of it all, that was like chef's kiss. But I
Well,
love
I
the
want to
video.
show an image too from the video where,
Yeah.
excuse me, people don't realize it's an image that was very popular. I meant to
Yes.
upload it.
I
Um,
looked that up.
but here it is for those of you visually watching. If those of you who listen to the podcast, well, this image right here actually. On October 25th, 1977, the Puerto Rican takeover. It was a Puerto Rican takeover of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
A group of 30 Puerto Ricans and allies unexpectedly caused shock to the ruling class when they courageously seized physical control of the Statue of Liberty located in the New York harbor. They called themselves the New York Committee to Free the Five Puerto Rican Nationalists,
8 Puerto Ricans.
an entire an entity compromised of various forces that the Puerto Rican political left during that period. With the military style planning and discipline prior to boarding and during their ride on a ferry boat from Manhattan to Liberty Island, the group divided itself into several teams of four. They pretended to be tourists and strangers to one another to avoid suspicions of their intentions. As soon as the vessel reached its destination and docked, the activists went into action, demonstrating a powerful energy of resistance to oppression. Within 15 minutes, the protesters secured a position at the National Monument by locking doors and shutting windows to force stalls and an aggressive response expected by law enforcement. So there's so much history behind that. I know
Yeah.
you're not saying to
The
AO.
only Yeah, to sum it up, basically, they were there. They basically kept the Statue of Liberty hostage for 8 hours, and eventually Jimmy Carter, God rest his soul, he ended up freeing the 8 Puerto Ricans that were arrested. So you know him doing that, and also it was not AI like people thought. They literally went and had like a helicopter surrounding and recreating the scene. So that was, yeah, he knows his shit. Bad Bunny knows his shit, and like the people around him, they're not fluff. This is what I say about like Latin artists who want to do genre, and we talked about this a couple episodes back. Like with Karol G, I like her. She's entertaining. But if you're gonna do an album about your roots, like talk about your roots. It's very like at face value. It's like above the surface. It's not giving like I know my culture. Let me tell you about my culture. So
Um, yes, she. Well, I was just saying she because I actually know an interview with India, and she kind of was. I guess in a sense talk about certain things she wanted to do with the album because of her culture. I guess, but there's a different. I mean, I guess two things could be true. There's like you
now
say,
there's a difference.
educate, and then you can be inspired by your culture and want to celebrate it and show it. So I guess there's two different things, and
There's a
that.
difference between you like embracing your culture and wanting to like enter for entertainment purposes, and then there's another difference between showing and like showing off your culture and actually like educating people on it. And that's why they're in two different realms.
Yeah. Yeah, all in all, the video is already at 12 million. As of earlier this morning, the video is
Sheesh.
already at 12 million views. Compared to some of his other videos that he's dropped, like Bouquet, which dropped 2 months ago, and that's at 60 million, and that was like 2 months ago that it came out. So just to give you guys a contrast, so the video is already like doing crazy numbers, and I just feel it's gonna even do more because it's a song of the summer. It's one of the top. It's one of the top contending songs of the summer, in my opinion. Speaking
Another reason that I knew it was gonna come out 4th of July, the first line, literally, Cuatro de
yeah,
Julio, 4th of July. But also, his residency starts in like
the
2 days,
night,
no?
this weekend on Friday.
So I knew he was gonna like drop it before the residency started. Yo, that residency, a lot of people are like, I keep like not email blasting, but bombarding our chat with like rules and regulations, the purses, be there on time. Like I'm not playing. y'all gonna be left if y'all not on time.
Listen, this is my what time see Benito? I've gone to see Benito more times by myself than I'm gone with people.
True.
When I say I am playing, I am playing. I am playing. I've
I
been
know.
solo, and I will be solo.
I know from experience.
That's
All
what
right,
I,
Sheree. Okay, Sheree.
speaking of charade, the reason why I did that because I've been watching, funny enough, the last few days, old episodes of season 4. I feel like you having the TV on like background thing while I'm doing
Yeah,
work and like the old like TV.
I've been doing that too. I was watching Salt Lake City, like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but when like right before Jen Shaw got arrested. Yo,
Speaking of Salt Lake, because you're the girl to ask about this, and I'm glad in a way you didn't respond to me, or maybe you did and I missed it. But our Love Island correspondent here, Melanie Cooper, um, recently there was a controversy with someone getting a early boot from Love Island. Now, as you
how
guys,
the fuck you know this?
Melanie, I may not watch certain things, but as a journalist, I keep going on. Hi, Portia. So, so you know, I know the bits and pieces, but then for clarification and full stories, I go to Melanie Cooper. So, with that being said, Melanie, as y'all know, if y'all listen to the podcast, she's Love Island has been mentioned the last few weeks here and there. If you guys know, y'all know I don't watch Love Island. But with that being said, there was a controversy with I don't know the girl's name. I knew the girl's name a few ago. Sierra, just so many. I don't
Sierra.
know.
Yeah.
Sierra. From what I know and understand, it seems like her last name is Spanish. It seems like she's a Spanish.
Okay, so Sierra Ortega, she is of Mexican and Puerto Rican descent. I think her mother's Puerto Rican and her father's Mexican. What Mexican American? I don't know. But anyway, she had a big following. A lot of the people, a lot of the cast, a lot of the islanders, they've gained momentum and they've gained a big following since they've been in the island. They don't have their phones, so they don't know what's going on in the outside world. However, a lot of fans have, did their research and dug up past things, whether it's post, Twitter, tweets, whatever. And one of her stories, she put that she gets Botox. And one of the reasons that she gets Botox is that she says that she can look a little C word, and it's an Asian slur. I'm not saying it because I don't want to get shut down, but
I know.
she lost 200,000 followers in a matter of hours, I think in a day.
Just because she said she doesn't want to look.
Yes, don't say it.
Like,
Okay, so me personally, I'm not gonna like sugarcoat this. I didn't think that word was as big as it is, but now in today's world, that is basically a slur to an ethnic group.
yeah.
The same way the N word is a slur to another ethnic group. The first, I think, episode or second episode, there was a girl, Yulissa. She's Cuban from Miami. She was in a podcast years prior, and the clip surfaced of her using the N word. And a lot of people in Miami were like up in arms saying like, oh, well, we use the N word here all the time. Just because you are Cuban does not make it right. Like, you shouldn't be saying that, whatever. But she got like kicked out of the island. Like, they told her, wake your ass up and pack your shit and bounce. So she left. So it only made sense for Sierra, even though she had a big following and a lot of people were rooting for her, to like have the same repercussions. Now, I don't really care for her. I'm team Amaya Papaya and Brian, so I don't care. But I feel bad for her because the type of mental health counseling that she's gonna need, and like the backlash, her family is getting death threats over that word.
All the fans are crazy. That even the whole Ariana Maddox has to like tell fans to be nice.
Yeah, Ariana Maddox, like, she in an After Sun episode, she was like, "You guys need to be kind," and they even posted something like, "You guys need to be kind and like remember." These are human beings. You can't just attack people, attack their families, and be doxing them. It sucks, but
Going on reality TV, listen, I am someone who I tried out for reality TV shows. I've been told I should be on reality TV shows, etc., etc. Um, I to be on a reality TV show these days, you have to be strong. One and two, like I know because I listen to podcasts. We've had people on the show that have done reality TV before reality TV was big. We've had people here from the real world. Shout out to Cyrus. Shout out to
Tina.
our boy, a bunch of Anaya, and so on. We've had a few people. Mental health is something that they don't offer, but that a lot of these cast members leave needing. A lot of cast members have expressed how they felt and think that there should be, mental health and counseling and stuff provided for these people that go on reality TV. So I do agree with you in that sense, with reality TV stars nowadays, especially like a big show like Love Island and the way the fans are, where, I hope these shows today are providing that for these people because they don't that money.
So from experience of watching, and I was talking about this earlier, from watching the Love Island UK series, there have been multiple deaths, and even the host died by suicide. Wow. In the UK version, because of trolling and online bullying, and some people take it like, I don't understand what it is about the phenomenon of like reality TV where people feel like they're entitled to go fucking balls to the wall and like dig up research and all this shit. I would never do reality TV shows. Granted, I like watching them, but I know my place. I would never put myself in that predicament. I'm not strong enough to do that. Not to mention, I don't want people doing like a full investigation on like shit that I've said in the past. God knows what I've said on here.
I know. People will have a field day sitting.
A fucking field day.
Over 270 at this point. Over 270 because we done bonus episodes. We'll have a field day sitting down.
Not to mention, a lot of the exes of people that are on the island have come up and been like, oh, I dated so and so and he cheats and he's a narcissist. Like, not that I will have that issue because I think I'm a great ex, but you never know. People will say whatever just for clout. I don't know, honey. I don't think you should do it.
Who, me?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
immediately no. You have people that think that they dated you when they didn't.
I will be very forthcoming in my interview process of what I've done in the past. Certain things that if these exes or whoever want to come out and say, well, he did this or he this or he's like this, it's already known.
But how would you feel
if they want to cast this Candela? That's all I gotta say.
Oye, yo soy Candela. Wait, but how would you feel if someone that didn't date you or didn't like you guys were nothing?
That's gonna happen. There's gonna be even what I call like the waywards, like people that like you kick it with, and that don't materialize to nothing, but they're gonna have an opinion because in their head, in their fantasy world, they were with Charlie.
Not you talking in third person, bitch. Oh my God, I rebuke it.
I mean, it's true. We've known each other for over a decade, and there's some in betweens that in their mind we were together, and I'm like, who, where, what, when, why, a day or two, and a poker three? That doesn't justify us being together.
Oh my God.
That was like a trial, like the Blockbuster thing. You rented it for 3 days.
Trial, no subscription.
But yeah, I wanted to get into that because I'm like, well, if anyone would know and could fill us in and let the good people know, because Love Island's big. I've even seen people that are shockingly surprised that they watch it, like posting on their stories. I'm like, oh, you really? So I'm like, well, maybe this will tickle.
Well, honestly, I know people that don't really watch the series that they just got into this one because there has been a lot of hype and a lot of talk about this one. This one started off very scandalous. And honestly, it's ending even more scandalous. Like, I feel like they're all in there for bullshit reasons and not love. But whatever.
Everyone want to be famous. Everyone want to be famous. And that's the thing, too. Like, these people are going on these shows like a Love Island for the exposure, for the view, for the numbers, so then they can get these endorsements.
For the brand deals, yeah.
Excuse me. So Real quick though, I wanted to shout out because back to Nashville real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time, but there was a few. I had one experience with a driver that was pretty dope that I told my brothers about. I'm not gonna get into it, but I truly believe God brings people into your life for certain conversations, for certain things. And this lady, all I gotta say is she had lost her mom as well. She was an older Uber driver lady. She lost her mom the same day I lost my mom. Not on the same year, but the same day. So shout out to her. I'm having a brain fart with her name, and I don't want to have to go through my list to find out my thing. But shout out to her. I'm sending her amazing thoughts and positive things, and also shout
And
out.
tip her.
I did actually. I actually did. I actually went back. Thank you for that, and I'm gonna say it here. I actually went back and added a tip to her because that
Oh,
conversation was so beautiful. She's a Leo. I know that too.
we don't like Leos.
Shout out to her and shout out to the educators I've met. Funny enough, I went again. I went solo to Nashville, but obviously you meet people, you talk to people, and one night I met two people who, and we all vibed that we're all educators. So shout out to them too. I know one of them may be checking this out and check it out. So shout out. Good times in Nashville. But moving on, Nicki Minaj is unhinged on X, aka probably known as Twitter. I don't know if you heard of this, but yesterday she went on a tirade of tweets. Um, Basically blasting Jay Z saying, "Pay me my money, bitch, better have my money." And basically, if you don't know, back in 2015, I believe it was 16, Jay Z created Title, or Title was created. He gave a share to a bunch of artists. I do remember this rollout because it was like it felt like the Illuminati room when I seen this rollout. I don't know if you remember this. It was like Madonna, it was Nicki Minaj, it was a bunch of big artists, Rihanna, which all had
Mhm.
basically Jay Z gave shares, stakeholder shares. Basically, and then it was sold back in, I believe it was 2021 or something. Title was sold. Now Nicki is saying that Jay Z owes her money between like 100 million to 200 million. She went on a tirade of "pay me my money," saying how Jay Z didn't support Kamala Harris, how he's not he doesn't really support and do really for the community, that he's ruined hip hop, that he's ruined um, football. What are your
Yep.
thoughts on this? Really quick before you give your thoughts, I feel like this is it ties into one, Little Wayne not performing at the halftime Super Bowl because obviously Wayne and Drizzy are her people, are her family. Two, again, I think also the whole Drizzy thing because in a way Jay Z took a stand with the whole Kendrick versus Drake by having Kendrick perform at the Super Bowl versus Little Wayne or Drake. So I think it's done from some things. Yes, she wants her money too, but what do you think about this? Did you hear about this, and what are your thoughts overall?
I don't really have thoughts because Nikki is a fucking troll. Like, she's weird. And this is why she barks louder than she raps. And that's why she's been snubbed so many times when it comes to awards and Grammys. Like, she's a lyricist. I give her that. Her songs are entertaining, her collabs are amazing. But I feel like she reminds me of like an, I don't know if she's older, but she reminds me of a more successful Azalea Banks, where they both are great musicians and they have it here, but they fucking suck. Like the minute that they open their mouth, they ruin everything with their mouths. I was gonna say she's a Sagittarius, but I like them. Yeah, I don't really have thoughts on that. Like Title, I never got into Title, so I don't know.
I tried it
I
when it
didn't try it, but funny story. I a long time ago, I can't remember for the life of me who it was, but I remember this guy telling me that he only listened to music on Tidal, and that was the only thing he had. He didn't have Spotify or Apple Music because Tidal just sounded better. And he must have been a fart in the wind because I don't remember him or like even recall. But anyway, back to Nikki. Um, why are you like subbing someone on X? Why don't you just sue them? Do it the adult way. Sue him. Like
I think
exposing him and saying all this shit. You're basically putting yourself. you're putting yourself in a predicament where he can sue you back, counter sue you for saying like shit about him.
Oh, we know Jay Z will sue. Look at Jay know that he sued back. That was
Exactly.
for
So
essay.
like, why are you? She needs to chill out. She's doing too
He
much.
will sue back. Um, but it's funny because the radio show I was listening to basically said that they're like, why don't you just take it to court if he owes you that much money? Like, take it to court.
And yeah, title hasn't been a thing since like 2010s, I guess. I don't even remember.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We'll keep up with this and see what unravels. But also, really quick, on another note, a little sadder note, I want to give our respects and our send our condolences and rest in power, rest in peace to James Marsden. He's an actor who died a few days before. Actually, another actor who I loved as an adolescent teenager. Julian McMahon, you know, if you
Oh
don't know
yeah.
who Julian McMahon is, you know, he, for me, my first introduction to Julian McMahon is with I'm Charmed with Alyssa Milano. Um,
Wasn't he like a demon?
yeah, he played Cole, the demon. And
Hmm.
that's when I knew I had a thing for toxic men.
Okay. Well, I fell in love with Julian McMahon in Nip Tuck, and I remember my neighbors used to watch. My gay neighbors used to watch Nip Tuck and all the sex scenes. When I would be coming home from school, I would be going up the stairs and I would like look because they would always watch Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, Nip Tuck, and something else. A lot of Bravo. And I would always see him like it was like clockwork, sex scene after sex scene. I'm like, OMG. But yeah,
A lot of sex scenes at
in Nip Tuck.
Nip Tuck. Yeah, he played Doctor Doom in the original Fantastic live action Fantastic Four that came out back then.
Yeah.
So and he a lot of people didn't know, but he's from Australia. He's actually in Australia.
Yeah, I know he was from Australia. He dated
Kylie
Dan-
Minogue's sister,
Danny Minogue, yeah.
Mhm.
That's sad.
So rest in peace. He was actually battling a secret battle with cancer. So he was in his upper 50s, but that's still so young. So rest in peace to those great, incredible actors. It's just I don't know, like you said when I told you, it's just we in that era in our lives where a lot of people we grew up with or you know are used to because of our parents type thing are passing. So
Yeah.
craziness. But let's lift the mood up before we go with a little game. And I don't know if we're gonna actually lift the mood up because this game, I don't know. We're putting
I'm scared.
we're putting our friendship to the test today because we're playing a game of who knows who better. This is a game where we find out who's been paying attention all these years and who's just been nodding along. Loser owes the winner bragging rights and maybe even a little dare. So let's go. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna pick. So we'll do three each. You're gonna
Okay.
pick 3 questions. I'll pick 3 questions, and we will ask each other and see who knows who well. So here we go, people. Oh Lord, I feel like it's like a marriage.
Um. Okay. Do you want me to start with the easy, fun ones?
Whichever. You get to do 3, and whichever way you want to do. If you can pick an
All
easy
right.
video,
What is my all-time favorite TV show?
Sex in the City.
Ding ding ding.
All right.
Okay. Your
Okay.
turn.
So
You could ask the
who's
same
my
question
first
back if you
celebrity
want.
crush?
Your first celebrity crush?
Yes.
Woman or male?
Male.
I was gonna say woman Tiffany Amber Thiessen or the Pink Ranger, and then the male was it the White Ranger? Tommy, whatever his
I'll
name
give
is.
you that. I'll give you Tommy. I'll give Tommy. Like the places I am, I have a few crushes.
I know. I was gonna say. I mean, you're slut. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Go ahead.
Um. Oh my god. What's the most spontaneous thing I've ever done? Keep it PG.
Get drunk in Vegas and throw up, and I had to go
Damn.
to the bathroom.
Okay. Okay.
I won.
Yeah.
Um. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know. Oh, who was my worst date ever? I've even yeah.
Damn. Your worst date? I think. Oh my god. If I say this, did it have to do with a birthday?
Is that your final answer?
Can you give me a hint? Give me a hint.
It's been spoken about on the podcast.
Was it with the Aquarius where they didn't? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love how we know who we're talking about by their by their like star signs. It's insane.
Okay, one more for you. Wait.
Um,
Yeah, your turn. Your last one.
see, I can't say this one because I don't want people to know that. What's my go-to Starbucks order? Bet you I post it all the time on my stories.
I knew you was gonna try to do this one, and I'm like, I don't know. Lately, you got into the matcha thing.
Okay, good job. That is because I don't like Starbucks coffee like that.
Um, if I could only eat one food for the rest of my life, what would it be?
Pizza, because you're a Ninja Turtle.
Literally,
Give me pizza, you old troll.
because of Ninja Turtle and because of Home Alone Part Two. Those are the reasons
Oh,
why
yeah.
I'm in love with pizza. But there you go. We did it. We know each other.
We see each other. I mean, we could have gone through the harder questions, but that's for
We'll save it for another week. We'll save it for another week. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today on this hot July where you can be outside like Cardi B, but you're chilling with us. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, it's free. You just got to hit like right there, the thumbs up, subscribe, share, all those good stuff. We appreciate it. It costs nothing. Make sure to catch us every Wednesday with new episodes. Awesome along, baby. Awesome along. We're bringing the heat. Adios.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, everything the Inner Circle Podcast, and catch us every Wednesday live at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.